I got the first one laid out. What's wrong?
We gotta get the mat.
Oh, okay.
Part two.
Part two. So we liked the way first herd turned out so good, and we saw a lot of improvements that we're coming through and doing a second herd too. So this is a 2-day project. Look at them go. So Terry's measuring this so we could see our measurements for this length of this section. And then right here, actually where the herd dividing is, we don't want to put the nice foam mat, because if this gate breaks and it drops, which it happens in agricultural, and when you're dealing with cows, stuff gets hit or it's rotted out, it drops a little and it's gonna skim. It ain't gonna hurt these 2-inch mats. I think they're 2 inches, right?
Yeah,
about 2 inches, but it will tear this little fabric, so we don't want to do that. Gerhard and me just put these two here. That way when the gate swings, like this, right now it's fine, even if it was the other mat. But say something breaks this gate.
There's a hinge rots out at the bottom.
Yep, right there at the bottom. Just anything, or Gerhard drives the skid steer into it again. The gate is a little crooked. He may have backed the bobcat into it one day, Lyman.
The side shooter was messing up, so I was paying more attention to the side shooter than I was to this. So
we do mess up, but we did fix it. The hinge snapped out. We had to repair it some, but it's fine.
I got lucky that the carabiner snapped and it opened. So
yeah, we put a heavier duty one now,
would have ruined it.
But the other one was too small, but it was perfect for this. Anyways, we're happy with this here, and then that'll start there, right where the gate doesn't swing. So it's gonna work out perfectly. Those are way comfortabler than this, more comfortable. I don't know which the right way to say that is, but those are way better than these. But everything has their place in life. They're rolling out the second part of that one. So the whole long side's done. It's like it was meant to be. He's just cutting the extra fabric off. But it's very close. It's perfect. So it basically lined up perfect for the edge. Terry is holding the extra fabric. He's doing the easy work today.
Yeah.
He's a little sore. He fell yesterday. We were chasing heifers and he fell on his face. But
got an old injury. Picked up yesterday.
I missed it on camera. He fell. But they cut that off. That way it's pure rubber. It's kind of the same as last video. Yeah. Just a couple different people this time.
Gives you a nice edge with the rubber.
So cutting it makes it pure rubber like this compared to how it is. This is just for when they make the fabric, when it's running through the machine. So the machine has something to grab onto. But you can't use that for installation. So they're lagging down the first strip that it's gonna get folded over. Terry and me just got done pulling this out. I think it's almost not long. It's not long enough. It needs a couple feet. You got the supervisor here, little Henry, right? What do you think? What do you think, Henry? You have your nun-nun? Yeah, you're having fun. We added this section. They're lagging it from that way this way. We had to stretch it. Terry, Dennis said he had a small section in the truck.
Yeah.
So.
Plastic?
Yeah. We got the plastic laid out, and then you kind of match it up with one of the lines on that plastic that's there. You throw it in, that way when we put the mats on, we can fold it up nice and tight so it's a good seal. We're gonna throw a couple down so this stops moving. The mat does have a little lip like that, which hooks right onto the plastic. Right now Alex is she's continuing doing what we were doing right here. And then this will be ready to throw mats on. We have a pallet right here, and we have a pallet in the middle, and we have a pallet at the beginning. That way we can just keep working. We don't have to walk the whole time because we're gonna need them in the other side too. Henry is on sawdust patrol. He's having a good time.
Gotta get pushed in when we do the. Yeah.
I gotta go put fuel in Matt's truck after.
Oh,
Yeah, I should.
you could have done that right
Last night?
yeah, right here.
We got all these placed. We got to move this a little because there's going to be a seam right here. Scott is up there. He's setting those so it's square. We had to do a little bit of cement. There's a hole right there around a post that we discovered when we pulled the mats off. We put some cement and quick cement in it and a little bit of heat. It'll be good.
It didn't dry overnight.
No, it was only 20 degrees, and even with the quick cement, it did not dry overnight. But we are way ahead of schedule today compared to last time.
There's no schedule. It's just get as much done as you can.
Well, we're getting faster at it. Right now we're putting on the front pieces. It's just the same white plastics, but you kind of bend them to a 90 and then they stay U-shaped. And these will stop the mats from pushing to the front when we flip it up and tighten it. That way they're locked into place. Gerhardt's drilling them, and then I'm just hitting them in with pins. All those are in. They flip this up. We're gonna flip up where we're standing right now, but Alex is cleaning that off, so there's no material underneath. The wind works the best with the blower. A lot better than a broom. And they're working at the end, getting all that figured out down there. And then, use them, Henry. And then right here where it overlaps, that'll be a connection too. Alex, it's all windy.
Not too bad.
Now that that's flipped, you're gonna stretch it. You get stretched in the center and then you work it out to the edges. That way everything's nice and tight. Use the skid steer with this homemade tool. Then we put a pin in with a big washer. You're gonna burn our tires off. What?
Throw some sand on it.
I'll spit on it and keep it wet. He has to keep the tires spinning, otherwise when he lets off, stops spinning, it lets off just enough to where it's not tight enough.
Oh, you want me to tighten off?
You weren't, see? You were listening. They put 2 pins in. And then after the black strip comes in over when it's all tightened to hold it still. So right now we're going through and tightening up. I think every 4 stalls or 3 stalls. Every 3 stalls we're going stretching it tight, because right now you can see it's all loose. So that right there will make it look like it is down there. It's as tight as it can get before it starts ripping out the pins. You don't want that, but you also don't want any slop. So they're putting on 2 clamps on the front. Then Ferdy, he's in the skid steer. He's using that, and then you can see it.
Yep.
Tighten right up to that plastic that we put there.
Get in there.
He's not even spinning the tires this time. And now, since we're going down, it's just one pin every time. It was only 2 for the very first one in the middle. And then you work both ways. So right now we're working, we started in the middle of the second splice, kind of where Alex's is in the middle. We're doing this top half. And then before we do the bottom half, he's gonna bring another roll and we'll start laying that out. And the skid steer will be out of the way, tightening down there, but we can have more people start laying those mats down. Birdie's grabbing the other roll, so some of us could start that, and then got Dennis here putting the front strapping on. So this is what's gonna hold the front on. And then after everything's done, or at least a good section, come through with a box cutting knife with a hook and cut this extra slap off. But this really tightens up the front and holds. He's not even gonna miss a swing on camera. I shouldn't have said anything. Oh man. Oh man. So this is that connection or end point in the middle of the barn. It's always when the camera comes out, everyone starts missing. Yeah, Dennis did the same damn thing. I said, on camera, he's not gonna miss a swing. Yeah. Couldn't hit the nail in the beginning. We just got this one stretched. You put 3 pins in on the other side, down there, and then you pull it with this skid steer until you see, you see like a kind of a line start on the edge. I'll show you when we're down there. And then you tap this side, the 3 pins, and then you can let go. And then basically, there's an orange line that we marked in. I think it's 4 inches in, if I'm correct. You line up with that, because it's a perfect straight line after we cut that extra fabric off, and we just mount it on. So we're gonna do that the whole way down now. We're trying to work here. Look at her.
Favorite job. Look at her.
We can't even put the taps in, and she's out here with a leaf blower. They are finishing up this side. It's almost done. Well, that mat was the last one from up there, but we started grabbing them from here. We'll have to cut a little bit on the last one. You got to carry it the whole way.
I did. Should have put it in the beginning. It's backwards.
Just takes a box cutter. He marks it. He's professional, right, Scott? And that's how you measure. And we'll cut it off of there. That way it doesn't cut the plastic underneath, because that's going to keep it dry, a moisture barrier. We got the front straps, our front hooks on. They're pinned. That's blown off. We're going to flip it up now.
Flip it up before we...
Dennis broke it.
Make sure you're not lined up with the stall.
Yeah, I'm here.
You back into it?
Oh, I've done it before.
Can you turn around?
Nice.
Well, we got half of this one done. Terry right here, we're doing the corner. The corner ones can be a little bit of a pain because sometimes it'll try wrinkling. So we actually had to put an extra peg in a little closer so it wouldn't make a wrinkle. Because you want to keep it nice and tight and flat. So now that that's all done, you see Brandon. What's the other guy's name, Terry? Who?
Junior.
Junior. Jason Junior. They're putting the black stripping on for the front. You saw earlier we were using the C-clamps But because it's so much tighter here, because the center is just not as long.
There's stuff in the way.
Yeah, basically. Here. Birdie's got that. I don't got to line it up for him. We had to use vice grips so that we could roll the whoa! So that way we could roll the front on to give ourselves the room, because it's just barely enough. First herd's actually going in to get milked. So normally first and second are actually fed already by now, most days, unless something breaks, which can happen. And he just drives through. But because second is forced to be on this side because we're working there, we fed second time before we even started. And then I'm gonna back the mixer in for the feed guy, so nothing gets hit. And then Stan right now, he's helping the Maury milker bring in the herd. He is gonna actually scrape this, and then that side's already scraped, but we'll scrape this side later.
As soon as we can let the cows over, because we still gotta rip the old mats out on the feed side. So, yeah.
So we'll scrape that for him. We'll just move these cows over, but we can't all do it right now because just the way the cows are. But they're bringing the herd in. I'm gonna back that in real quick, and Garrett will record if I smash anything.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he can do. So Andreas is going to get that. The milker's pulling the lime down and the manure down, making sure it's all dry in the back. They do that every time they get the herd. That way the udders are nice and clean. So when they come back for milking, you can see all the manure is down from the backs of the stalls, and then they pull lime down over anywhere where it was wet. We'll see how well he makes it in. He's coming in on a 90 because you can't just drive straight out the barn, you're gonna turn, so. But he's got it. This alley's more than wide enough. Usually we just drive straight through, but because group 2 is all locked onto this side because we're working in the back, we can't drive through. So we double fed group 2 this morning, and I backed out because first herd was in the way, and we're just backing into group 1 today. Oh. He's rubbing there. He's gonna pull ahead. I'm just gonna open this up, push the cows back a little bit. That way he can go far enough, get feed everywhere. You want to feed the entire space of the bunk. You don't want 10 feet of it empty, because that's a bunch of cows that can't eat otherwise. Normally feeding is not this complicated. Yeah, so he's just gonna drive through and then pull out. And group 1 can't come back out into the herd yet. Stan's gonna clean both alleyways and then let them go. So that way it's nice and clean. So that's about all there is for this today.
Well, Gerhard recorded that for me. I think that was the first time I've ever showed anything up to feeding, but normally I just don't have time. But Stan's cleaning out a little bit of the walkway right there, and then he's gonna scrape all of this herd. So normally he does the feed side there at the same time, he just moves them over to this side, but can't be done right now today. We're in an active construction zone at the moment. I don't think I've actually shown any of the scraping either. So this might be the first time I've really showed any of the scraping, but It's just hard to get around to showing everything that happens on the farm, but if you stick around long enough, I'm bound to always show something new. So first and second get cleaned twice a day, right here. We try to do it with first herd goes in on the milking, because it's kind of difficult, because the way they built the barn back in the day, they only put a hopper on the end of first herd and the end of third herd, which is on the other barn section. So you got to push all the manure from both this group through here all the way to there. Nowadays on the new buildings, you'd have the center right here be a manure lane, so manure could get pushed to the center when you get every single herd. It's just how it's different, how stuff is improved over the years, but we make do with how it is. That's all we can do. So 2 more strips.
Going to get more something. I don't know what he's getting.
More pins probably.
No, battery.
Okay, battery's dead. And then they're starting to roll that one out. I see Henry has finally checked out for the day. It's nap time. This is all ready. A couple of us are gonna grab it and pull it up. They're making this.
I don't know how that's a good way.
they're making the end strip here. That way we can cut off the excess. And we'll get this going. Stan just finished scraping. The cows are already coming in to start eating. Well, Stan's all cleaned up here. Cows are coming back from milking. I scared a couple of them here, but they're all just lining up to eat right away as soon as that feed got dropped. They're just walking farther down to eat now, but. So we're stretching this. This is the last piece for today, because once this is all done, first we'll be done this around when second herd goes in for milking, and then we'll start ripping out the mats on the other side for tomorrow. And the cows, when they come back from milking, just come on this side. But when you're pulling it to stretch it so that there's no wrinkles when you flip it up, it's got to have this kind of weave in it. That's how you know it's pulling good. You don't want to go too much because you'll rip the anchors right out, but that's perfect. So Alex and me are taking hook blade on this razor. Cow says hello.
It's almost done. You can come over.
We're cutting this extra fabric off just so nothing gets stuck or caught under it. So this slips right under here. She keeps a little bit of tension. That, and then those bolts that we use to anchor, you just kind of simply cut around them and like that. So basically, ouch. Gotta do that all the way down.
Go get it.
Okay. I was scraping, but I gotta help Christoph. So we're scraping this side a second now because they just went into milk. I gotta go help Christoph for a couple minutes, so Garrett's taking over. Alex has already started the process of cleaning off the line from this side, throwing it on that side. Oh, Henry woke up? Oh, he woke up. Look at him, he just woke up. So there's already some cows back from milking. We picked that sawdust up, shot it in, and then I also put a bucket of lime in. Cows are already laying about 30 seconds in. They are already liking it. Gerhard's pushing manure down. He moved first herd over. And just how it has to be today. We gotta work around the situation. But I'm gonna go. We got the last side removed. We gotta cut all the pin or the screws. That's what we got left here, and then we can let cows back over. Cows are already to here. This side is basically all done. There's one little section we gotta work on tomorrow, so we're gonna gate it off. It was giving us some issues, but we figured out a solution. We threw some of it in by hand with a shovel, but we're gonna do the most of it right here. With this machine. It's normally for sand, but with this fine sawdust, it actually works perfectly fine. Our problem we came across is right here. when we cemented it, this was like 5 years ago when we started switching the project over. We must have went a little too thin right there with the cement, and the pins aren't holding from like right here to right here. We've honestly got very lucky that we haven't had this problem anywhere else. So we're just gonna gate this 15-20 foot section off, and then tomorrow we're gonna flip it up, cut the foam back 4 inches, because as you come this way it gets thicker, and we'll pin it like that and it'll be fine. But it's just another thing you gotta problem solve in the moment. So this lime is a little moist, so it's sticking in there. It's actually sticking more than the sawdust is normally, but for the most part, 90% of the time, it falls out like sand. And he just bounces it a little bit, like he did that one time, and it works perfectly fine. Yes, we're gonna get a little bit of sawdust to finish this last section right here for tonight. It's all prepped. In the morning, we will...
Until we put sawdust on.
Well, it's prepped for, because it's easy to pull this.
For prepping.
Yes, I guess. Because tomorrow we're gonna pull the sawdust off. We'll clean the floor again. Put the sawdust down so we have dry mats to work on when we roll them out. And then, because the sawdust is much easier to pull off in the morning. It takes like a couple minutes. And then the cows here are all good. They're already starting to lay down farther up there. That top section, every stall is already full. So I think I'm going to end the video here because it'll probably be long enough. And you'll see how this goes. So thanks for watching. Till the next one.
There's also nothing else to record. That's why we're ending the video.
You know?
Well, there is tomorrow.
So thanks for watching. Till the next one.